G'day viewers, how are you? Welcome to Cocktails with Angry and welcome to you, Taz.
Thank you.
YouTube buddy for several years now, and I said, hey, I want someone to help me out with some tasting, and today this is almost like an introduction to cocktail making because I'm going to get you to taste some variations of what could arguably be called the cocktail. Yeah, I know a little bit of history.
Fancy.
The old-fashioned in the 19th century was the cocktail. People would just ask for a cocktail and this is what they'd get. And it's basically booze with a sweetener, bitters, and a citrus garnish.
Okay.
And that was it. That was the cocktail. These days, it's most commonly whiskey, but you can literally any booze. You could make a gin old-fashioned, a rum old-fashioned, all these things. But whiskey's a common one, and we had a bit of a confab. Taz is a fan of the Irish, so while Americans would tend to make an old-fashioned with bourbon or rye whiskey, we're going to make one with Irish because this is all about taste. It's like what you like. So I'm also going to explain via Taz and taste tests why garnishes can make a huge difference to a drink. I'll tell the truth, when I'm making my own drinks at home, I almost never bother with garnishes because it's too fiddly. But in this one in particular, it makes quite a difference. So I'm going to start and go through the stages and see the difference the tastes make. First, we need the old-fashioned glass that I've been chilling, and it needs a big old chunk of ice in it.
Old-fashioned glass?
It's on.
How old do you think I am?
Yes. I'm having to explain, Taz is not just much younger and taller than me. Actually, that's sometime. I mean, Taz is at least 5'10". So
5'10", I'm 6'2". Gee,
I know.
Don't understand.
I was my height. Once someone hits 5'10", they're just tall. That's a tall person. So, because this drink is an old-fashioned, the glass that's traditionally put in is called an old-fashioned glass, which we've been chilling, so I'll get that out now. So this rather straightforward tumbler is an old-fashioned glass. Got a big old chunky bit of ice in it, making it nice and chilly. The first thing we obviously need to put in is the whiskey and the sweetener. Now, some people prefer to actually use sugar, like a sugar cube or superfine, and they'll usually use the bitters to dissolve the sugar and maybe with a little bit of water as well. I don't like the fact that there's normally sugar left over in
I
it.
feel like it'd just end up being like a crunchy, weird mess.
Some people like it. I don't. So I'm going to use a sugar syrup because that will just dissolve. It'll actually be some agave syrup. Same base as tequila from the agave plant in Mexico.
I did not know that.
But this is essentially a cooking syrup. But it's 1-for-1 with sugar, so it's really useful. So we're going to use agave as a sweetener. So first up, I'm just going to put the measures of the whiskey and a bit of sweetener. And then I'm going to add the bitters. I'm going to get you to taste it before and after the bitters to see the difference in taste that makes.
Yes.
All right, we're just doing like one shot of good old Jameson's. Some people get really fussy about the type of whiskey they use in drinks. But it's down to what you like when you do it. I don't think you need to use really expensive ones, some people say. So a little bit of the sugar syrup, and we're going to stir to mix that in. All right, so we have had a trouble-free stir of our drink. Outtakes on a second channel, maybe, who knows. But yeah, okay, so Taz, as you said, you've never really tasted sweetened whiskey, so have a sip of that.
Okay. All right. Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. How's
It
that?
almost takes the kick out at the start.
That is actually the main purpose of doing it.
Actually, an alcohol connoisseur.
Yeah. So it basically takes the edge off the whiskey without really getting rid of the whiskey flavour. But now, good old-fashioned Angostura bitters, one of the oldest bitters in the world, as the traditional one, we just put a splash in there.
I used to drink a lot of lemon lime bitters when I was a kid.
It's a great one if you don't want to have it.
The non-alcoholic version, of course.
Yeah. It's a great drink if you don't want to drink alcohol but have something with a bit of flavour.
Exactly.
So the lemon lime bitters is great. So now taste the difference with the bitters in there.
Okay.
Little sip. What kind of difference do you think that makes?
Well, let's start with before the sugar sort of subsidizes the start,
Yeah.
just like slows it down.
Yeah.
That gives the kick back without giving a huge whiskey kick. But I almost feel like I can't really taste the whiskey until the very last minute, like the really afterwards.
And I have to admit, that's one of the things I like about cocktails, actually getting multiple tastes as it goes down, rather than one thing, the layers of it. And this is, people spent a while perfecting the balance of this. That's why it's sweetened and then bitters and the thing. Now, the final touch, the thing I normally don't do, the garnish, because with this type of glass in particular, it makes a big difference. Now,
Glasses make a difference?
yes, because some glasses will basically hold the aroma in and some won't. So we're going to just take a strip off an orange with a peeler. Nothing too showy here. You can tell I'm not very well practiced at this. I won't put that one I dropped in your drink, Taz. I will. I'm going to do it over the bench. So if
Let me do it over the glass.
Just get a nice strip of the orange. One thing to watch out for, the bit on the inside, the white stuff, the pith, you don't want much of that because it's actually quite bitter and not pleasant. Now, for those who don't know, citrus fruit are full of oils, like as in burning oils. Some bartenders will do a showy thing where they have a lit flame and squeeze it and little jets of flame come out. We're not going to do this. We're just going to do what's called expressing the oil over the drink. So I'll actually get you to hold it so it's in camera.
Expressing the oil.
Yeah, and it's literally you just twist it and you're getting a bit of citrus oil in there. But the real trick is now this has got a nice sort of amount of oil in it. You rub it around the edge of the glass. And so now on top of all the other flavours, I'm going to put a little garnish in. It's very unattractive what I just did. But now, the difference in taste. Yeah, I know, I'm trying. That's what's important.
That's all that matters.
Now, the difference in taste now, that's got the citrus oil in it.
I like that.
Yeah, see?
The middle, bitters and just the sugar, not a fan. That citrus is like not the nail on the top, that's the wrong one.
It's the icing, cherry on the top.
There we
it's
go.
the cherry on the top. You can put a cherry on top if you like. A lot of people do. Little maraschino. But that's the thing. As I said, when I make cocktails for myself at home, it's very rare that I bother with a garnish. But for the old-fashioned in particular, a little twist of citrus in there makes an astonishing amount of difference.
It's almost too sugary for me, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I might have put too much sweetener in there, honestly. Huh?
We'll live.
Oh, the orange is it, really.
Yeah,
this is a one where
definitely
you can do it with lemon if you like. Lemon's nice in it too, but orange in particular in an old fashioned is really good.
I feel like lemon would work really well with rum.
Yes, you were mentioning rum. Maybe we can do a rum old fashioned with some lemon another time.
Fancy.
I don't think I have any lemons on hand, so I'll have to get you back another day. How dare I? I've got lemon juice, but I don't have any fresh lemons. So that's an excuse to come back another time.
Okay.
I'll make you a rum old fashioned with lemon. Yeah, you got to come back. So yeah, just as an introduction, like I said, you've probably often seen people go and they add bitters to a drink, and you go, what bitters is to a bartender what spices are to a chef. It's not the centerpiece. It's not the main thing. You don't sit here and say, "Here's your dinner. It's pepper." No, it's pepper steak. And in this case, we don't say, "Here's your drink. It's bitters." It's like, no, it's an old fashioned and it has bitters in it. And the garnish, while often just being a visual treat, and it can be quite nice, just to have a little visual treat or anything. But this one in particular, citruses. And see the shape of that glass, your nose actually goes in, so you're actually inhaling. You're actually inhaling the citrus oils when you do it, which really changes the taste, I should say. So that's a little introduction. Why would you want bitters and garnishes? Because they can be an integral part of your cocktail. I hope you enjoyed that little treat. I hope you enjoyed the drink, Taz.
Oh, I did.
It's great. So we'll be back for more little tips and tricks. But until then, look after yourself and enjoy a drink or two, and hopefully see you again soon.
Bye.